being Father's Day, I was wondering if I could pick your guys' brains on your experience with your dads and what you think makes a good dad. Like for people listening, and myself for like this last year, like my first year of fatherhood, it's a lot of just trying to be patient and understanding and helpful. But it's also feels like I'm flying blind and don't really know what to do. So I really like asking other people what's your lived experience of something and trying to work from that. So uh Forrest, what do you think is makes a good dad? Like what's a good trait or that you've seen?
Man, if you're able to buy me all the shoes, no, I'm just kidding.
Like, look,
You
purchasing
spoil
power.
me.
Yeah, man. Just give me the credit card. We're good, man.
Best
No,
dad ever.
I think the trade I think the traits differ um from whether you have a boy or a girl, I think.
Ooh,
You
okay.
know, I just especially coming from like a Polynesian family, like Polynesian family, I think usually the father's supposed to show you how to be a man, show you how to take care of family, be the backbone of your family, and yeah, really show you the ropes of because one day you're gonna be the one that takes care of the family. So he's got to show
Yeah.
you how to take care of everything. I personally think that your father should always be there to back your kid up. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
For me, it was great. Um, my dad. You can tell my dad nothing. Like we weren't. It's not like we weren't close then, but like my dad worked and I did a lot of sports when I was younger, or I was just out with my friends. But when I got older, I realized how much my dad had my back through everything. Like you know, people are going to talk about you as a kid, you know what I mean, as you're growing up. But my dad never wavered. My dad was always there. Like, couldn't tell him. He wasn't blind, he knew that there was things that I did I shouldn't be doing, but he was always there to back me up no matter what. And I'm pretty sure if no matter what hard times come now, uh, my dad's always going to be there.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
yeah. And for girls, I think it's tough. Dads are a little softer on their girls. Um, like as you know, I mean, I'm pretty sure if you had a son, you even just playing with them, you'd be a little rougher. You know,
I will.
uh,
Let me just say, I try not to. I try not to
see,
be a
it's
difference.
right. It's
I tr-
hard, but
I throw her
yeah,
just as high as if I would as if she were a boy. Okay,
right.
go.
And especially like girls are always gonna with their moms, I guess, because maybe they'll butt heads a little bit more. And uh, girl dads are supposed to be there to console your daughter, be the good guy. And so I heard a lot of people say that this week. Is like, you know what? Fine, I'll tell them they can't go. I'll be the bad guy, and it's usually like one of the women in my family telling the girls they can't go somewhere, they can't do something, and then the dad's just like, "Well, just it's your mom now," but you know, trying to console them, but at the same time, he's trying to make things good, and he usually goes over the line sometimes and just be like, "You know what? You go ahead. I'll talk to your mom." But he's also the guy that if you ever touch his daughter, you better be really fast, or
You're
or be able to disappear. Because I know fathers when it comes to their daughters, if you ever hurt their daughter, there's nothing they wouldn't go through to make their daughters feel safe again. You know, there's I think that's what a father does for their kids. Ultimately, the best thing their father can do is always have them know that no matter what they go through, their dad's gonna be there. And at the same time, like they wouldn't hesitate to go through hell to make their kids feel safe or be safe again. Those are the
just
traits of a father. Yeah.
some sacrifice, some protector, guider.
Yeah.
Show
Amen.
show the boys how to be men.
How to do
That's
the same thing, yeah, for the women in their family, and that's big on like with us in our culture is to know that like the boys in your family are always going to take care of the women in the family, especially your sisters.
I feel like we raise the girls to do a lot of taking care of the men too. But
Oh, for sure,
yeah, no, I see.
for sure.
Those are kind of different.
Yeah,
Taking care of, like protecting and
yeah.
providing, and on that. All right. Nice. Mike, what are some examples that you can give of that you've seen maybe from your dad or traits you
Uh,
think make a good dad?
Honestly, when I was a little kid, I could just see from how everyone else interacted with my dad that he was cool as shit. Like everybody rocked with him tough. He was like a hooper. He's like super athletic, hella funny.
Nice.
Um, so just like seeing how other people reacted to him, I was like, okay, that's kind of what I'm trying to be like when I get big or whatever. And he was like, so I always looked at him. I was like, damn, this guy's strong. He's strong as shit. And he knew he was a black belt in Taekwondo, so it was like it was over if I ever started acting up. And I came to realize that at a real young age. I was like, I gotta get some training or something. This guy's a black belt in Taekwondo. Like literally, my first memory I have of him is I'm like 2 or 3, and he's at a Taekwondo tournament, and he has to fight this guy that's 7 feet tall. Uh,
Damn.
and my dad knocked him out. And, like he like kicked him in the air, like brought his leg straight up and popped him in the jaw, and then brought it right back down on the same jaw and just KO'd the guy. And then my dad was so hyped
Damn.
that he punched the ground and shattered his hand, and then he had to retire from that. And I was just like, damn, that was the coolest thing I've ever seen. So it's like I feel like you want to be like a superhero to your kids,
Yeah,
you
man.
like Forrest was saying, like you want to feel safe around your parents, you want to feel protected, you want to feel loved. And I feel like my dad did a good job of that. And then like when I was a freshman in high school, my parents had twins. So a boy and a girl twins, and that was like they were both working. So, I had to step up. I'm the oldest, got to change a lot of diapers, feed them, do everything.
Yay.
And yeah, so like you do kind of raise them a little different because I definitely was more rough with my brother than my sister, but
Yeah.
I was like, all right, we'll just all play together. And then I was able to like impact their lives by showing them what I thought was cool. Like I put them on Naruto right when they were able to like read. I was like, all right, we're gonna learn how to read subtitles and Avatar. So I was always like felt like I was in control of their content, and seeing them
It's
now at like 17, junior, senior in high school, it's definitely still in their blood. You know what
You-
I'm saying? Like,
those seeds
I
you
feel like I was a
planted,
part of it.
yeah.
Yeah,
you,
they're blossoming. Exactly.
bro. This is. I heard. I think it was. I forget his name. He's like a controversial right wing guy, Jordan Peterson.
Oh
Mm.
yeah,
One of his clips is
psychologist.
like, uh, you know, people are scared of having like lots of kids because they're like, how am I going to take care of 3 kids, 4 kids, 5 kids? But after a while, the kids start taking care of the kids. So it's
Yeah.
not like having to take care of like a full new child, 100% take care of. It becomes like the oldest takes care of these guys, well, everybody, and then they start kind of creating their own little
Right.
care circles, family,
He,
and they,
he, he must have lived next to someone's.
or it's like, just something that's noticed over large families. I would agree with that. Like in Samoa, cousins, families, if you're living together, they're basically watching over you, taking care of you,
Right.
until the
In
parents get home or off of work or whatever.
in my head, the term "it takes a village" really derived from Polynesian families.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of people willing to, do a little, take care, doing their part to make sure that their family or community.
But
Um,
shout out to Mike's dad because that's a really good trait too, to know that everything Mike just said. Like I speak about like my father like that, but Mike just said like literally his dad's like the coolest to him growing up. And if your kid can go out and tell kids like, yo, my dad's the coolest, you know what I mean? Like you're doing a really good job because
Mhm.
you don't hear a lot of kids tell people like, hey, my dad's cool. I want to hang out with my dad. So that's dope. I didn't know your dad was Huarang from from what is the fighting game? Oh my gosh.
Which was Street Fighter,
Nah.
Killer Instinct,
Tekken.
Tekken. Yeah.
Tekken.
They had the Taekwondo dude from Korea and
Yep,
that. And
exactly. I know exactly what you're talking
You
about.
described that. That fool said he kicked him in the chin and then dropped his heel and hit him in the head again. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
bro. I was like,
Tekken.
what the?
And then the most Samoan injury ever celebrating.
It's too much. It's too hyped. He had enough energy for a whole fight, and it was over in 10 seconds.
That's funny.
All right, so your dad. I mean, it sounds like your dad's a cool ass dude, and still to this day, and that you got that from him, and you're passing that on to the rest of your family members.
Yeah.
So being cool, being like
Yeah,
a
and a hooper,
superhero.
man. He like literally, he was like, I want you guys all to play basketball. And I was like, I don't want to, Dad. That's too damn.
Damn bad. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Get your hand on the line.
Get your hand on the line.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, that it's paying dividends. Like I was a scholar more than a baller. So I went to school for that. But like all my other siblings achieved higher education through basketball. So
Nice.
pretty dope.